You hit the like goal, so I'm keeping my word. This is the Playmaking Glass Cleaner 2.0, and I'm getting straight into the builder, no filler, no stalling. But real quick, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I'm dropping unique elite builds that actually counter the meta and are fun to play on 2K25, and I'm not making you wait days to get them. And don't dip early after the builder. I'm showing you the rare build name change I unlock once I apply the cap breakers, plus the max plus ones I'm using, my takeover, and my jump shot and signature animations that make this build hit the way it does. Now, a quick question. Let me know in the comments section if you're looking for builds, what type of builds you'd like the most. Put 2s if you're looking for 2s builds, 3s for 3s builds, and maybe put a R or just the word rec, or even 5s if 5s is your game mode. Now, to make the 6.8 Playmaking Glass Cleaner 2.0, I went power forward. You can go center on this. This is not a build I'm necessarily recommending or advising against playing on anything but the 2s, but this is finely tuned for the 2s. If you want to play in the rec with it, you might want to consider making it a center, but the pass accuracy is going to be kind of low for playing a center. You're not going to be able to throw full court fast breaks with it. So anyway, power forward is how I made it. 6'8", 271 pounds. The reason we're going 271 is because if you go any lower, you can't get the 94 defensive rebound, which we need to max +1 for legend box out beast. And going higher doesn't really make any sense to me because I'm just going to make my player a little bit more tired when I'm dribbling the ball and losing stamina. So anyway, 7-foot wingspan. If you go lower, you lose the 94 defensive rebound, which again, we need for legend box out beast. If you go higher, you can't get that 83 3 ball, which I want because I want to be able to shoot from limitless range if I need to, or if I'm just a couple steps back and I need to pull it. I don't want to have it in the back of my mind that this is too deep. I can't make this shot. So for me, it's just nice to have bronze limitless because I'll knock down a few here and there whenever I need to take them. So moving into the actual build itself, we're just going to take it one attribute at a time, but you know how I am. I like to start with the physicals. So we're going to max out the speed to an 83 speed. We're going to max out the agility to a 74. So we're as mobile as we can possibly be. It's rare I'm going to make a build that I'm not making max speed, max agility with, just because I want to be as mobile as possible defensively. And again, if I am not maxing those out, then, you know, maybe I didn't make the build right. Maybe I should have went with more weight. Anyway, so 83, 74 on the speed and the agility. With the strength, we're going 86. Now, the 6'9 version, I went 93 strength after the cap breakers. I'm not going to be using the legend strong handle on this build. It's a little bit OD. I mean, you're making this for the 2s court to abuse bigs with low perimeter anyway. So you don't need legend. Hall of Fame strong handle is plenty to get the animations you want. Plus we get a higher ball handle. So you get even more animations with this build than you do with the 6'9. So I'm going 86 here, and I'm going to use 3 cap breakers to make it an 89 strength. I could eventually use 5 cap breakers to go 91 to get gold brick wall, but 89 is all you need for Hall of Fame box out beast, which again, we're going to max +1 to legend. With the vertical, I went 80. That's going to unlock gold posterizer, plus it gives us as much as we can get with this build to help us with our rebound. Now, going up to the close shot, really similar badge layout or attribute layout with some of these minimals here. I almost always go 73 close shot. I think the only reason I wouldn't go 73 close shot is because I'm going with a post score, but that gives us the Bronze Paint Prodigy badge, which is something I kind of swear by. 70 layup gets us Zion. Because I'm planning for next season's cap breaker. Great layup package, and really all you need if you're really just trying to take open dunks. With the driving dunk, I'm going 88, and I'm using 5 cap breakers here to go to a 93 driving dunk to give us that gold posterizer, which is the sweet spot in this game for contact dunks. Obviously 96, 85 vert is better, but you see the biggest jump from silver to gold when it comes to the effectiveness of your posterizer badge. So anyway, we're going 93 with the 80 vert for gold poster. I'm also going 50 standing dunk to unlock a couple extra animations. We're not really touching post control. It's just tied to other attributes, so we'll leave it as a 51. We're going to go up to an 88. I used 2 cap breakers here because I have 15 total to get to a 90. And eventually I'll go 91 with it to get the gold shifty shooter. But for now, I actually have it at a 90. If you don't have 15 right now, then I would just recommend going to an 89 so you can get that signature size up, as well as every single strong handle animation. We're going with the 83, so we're maxing that out to make sure that we have the bronze limitless range. And then free throw ended up just being a 64, just with some leftover attributes. This is a park build, and so I wasn't, prioritizing free throw whatsoever. For pass accuracy, 71 gives us that silver dimer, which I think is perfect for the 2s court. You're not throwing breaks, but if you're on the 3s court with this, honestly, 71 pass ac is almost like an 87 or 93 pass ac with full court passes. It's a much smaller court. You don't need high pass accuracy for a park build or even for stage if you're playing threes there. So I'm going 71 pass accuracy, obviously, for those reasons. And then with the ball handle, 84 here, but I'm using 2 cap breakers to bring it up to an 86, which will give us silver ankle assassin. So again, if you don't have all the cap breakers, maybe you just go for 85. If you don't have many cap breakers at all, like 5 to 10 range, you might even consider just taking this to an 81. But I went 84 and then I put 2 here. With speed with ball, went to 68. Again, if you're struggling with cap breakers, you really don't need lightning launch in this game, but it was just so cheap with the build to bump it up from a 64 to 68. And you do get a big lightning launch boost going from, no badge at all to bronze. So I went ahead and went 68 speed with ball just to get the most out of the build. Interior defense, we're going straight to an 88 with this one. Again, if you saw my 6'9" play glass, 1.0, if you will, this is 2.0. It gets an 82, which is cool, but really not reliable when it comes to stopping post scores. Gold post lock is a sweet spot for that. We were able to get an 88 interior on this without having to use any cap breakers whatsoever. Perimeter defense, we're going 74. With the 6'9", it was at a 71, right? So we're able to get the silver immovable enforcer, bronze pick dodger, and bronze on-ball menace. And then you don't really get any more badges until you get all the way up to an 82 to get silver challenger. And perimeter defense is super expensive on a 6'8". So we go 74 for those reasons. And then with the steal, we're just leaving it at a 44, which is tied to our perimeter defense. We didn't touch steal. We're not trying to get lanes and get plucks. We're trying to be there to get contests and have everything else that we need to get blocks. If they're getting to the rim, we're going with an 84 on that. And then, of course, everything else on the build, you just can't afford to have still if you want to be where you need to be at to stop post scores, get contests on little guards that are L2 dexing around and still have elite level rim protection and rebounding. So for the offensive rebound, we're going with an 83. 79 is all you need to unlock animations. I just had extra attributes left over that I didn't want to put into free throw, so I went 83. But if you're trying to just min-max the build, maybe you go a little lower on the offensive rebound if you kind of want to remix it and just see what you can get out of it. Then I went 91 defensive rebound. I'm using 3 cap breakers here to cap break it to a 94. So ultimately, after all your cap breakers, you're at a 93 drive and dunk, an 89. I'm at a 90 mid-range with 15 cap breakers. I'm at an 86 ball handle, a 94 defensive rebound, and an 89 strength. This is the build. The name, obviously, I'm calling it my Playmaking Glass Cleaner 2.0. The first version 6'9", this one's 6'8". But for this version, it comes out as a 2-way, 3-level board hunter. Now, let me show you what it looks like when you actually put VC into the build and max it out, and then you actually apply the cap breakers. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. It's May. We're still dropping new builds, coming up with new methods and play styles to stop the meta. Like I've said before, we're going to keep going hard until 2K26 drops. Now that we've got our VC, well, maybe just quite almost enough VC, I'm going to drop the steal down, drop the free throw down, make sure we can afford to get the build as maxed out as possible. We don't need free throw on the twos court. We're definitely not going to be posting anybody up. And anyway, a little bit of VC left over to buy some shooting boosts and stuff like that. That's going to be all we need for now. Of course, I'll eventually get everything going. But first thing I want to do is obviously apply the cap breakers. If you've seen any of my videos before, I like to go one attribute at a time to make sure I'm giving myself all the opportunities possible for any name changes that come up. So first thing I'm doing, obviously putting up the driving dunk to see if that affects the build name at all from a 2-way, 3-level board hunter, which I've already got actually 2 builds with that name. One is a 7-foot ISO Titan. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. Most broken 7-footer in the game. But anyway, I don't want that build name for this build for obvious reasons. I don't want 2 or especially 3 builds with the same name. We're popping up the mid-range now from an 88 to an 89 and nothing. So I was kind of expecting the ball handle to give us some sort of shot creator name. I go from an 84 to an 85. I get nothing. 85 to 86, and I get the opportunity to change it to 2-way /first shot creator, which is a hard name. The only time I've seen that name pop up is when someone was dropping like a Michael Jordan video. Michael Jordan doesn't have legend rebounding, right? So this is obviously a different kind of 2-way /first shot creator. I thought that was a hard name, so I rolled with it. I don't know if it would have gave me a different name. It probably would have had I went ball handle first instead of going with the driving dunk first. So if y'all are making this build and you're applying cap breakers, try it in a different order. but you might risk not getting that name. I don't know how sensitive it all is. So anyway, obviously we're putting the strength up. That like never changes the name, going to an 89. And then I got the one cap breaker left over. We put on mid-range because I'm going to go to a 91 mid-range for the gold Deadeye badge, which may also give me another option. I don't know, something that's going to be harder than two-way slash first shot creator though, but we'll have to see. This is what it looks like after applying on my badge elevators. I went ahead and kept Rebound Chaser at silver because it's a super easy badge to grind. I put it on my maximum overdrive along with Pogo Stick, Off Ball Pest, and Aerial Wizard. Now for the max plus ones, I got to say another benefit with the 6'8" that obviously I didn't realize when I made the 6'9". If you watch that whole video series, it was a revelation to me that I can get Box Out Beast tier 2 on a 6'8". I thought it was a tier 1 badge. Anyway, the fact that you can get your tier 2 with Box Out Beast gives you a much more valuable option, since the tier 1 badges are typically more powerful badges. So now I can go Hall of Fame set shot specialist, or I can go gold shifty shooter, and I'm kind of playing with both of them on my tier 1. Now for my takeover, I'm running horse, especially on the 2s. There's really no other takeover to go with. This gives me a 99 defensive rebound, a 90 offensive rebound, and an 87 vertical. Plus I can see the future with it. And even with gold set shot specialist, I don't need a takeover to help boost my shooting. But with this build, I even am able to use my max plus 1 on something like Hall of Fame set shot specialist or gold shifty shooter. Speaking of shooting, this is my jump shot. Same jump shot I've showed you on my 7-foot ISO Titan, on my 6'10 Anomaly, the 6'6 ISO Juggerlock, the very first build video I ever made. I'm using it on my 6'9 Playmaking Glass Cleaner. I'm using it on my 6'8 Playmaking Glass Cleaner 2.0. And maybe it's not the best jump shot in the game, but it's the jump shot I'm comfortable with. I know I can walk into just about any game mode, build hop, and not have an issue calibrating and remembering my jump shot, because I'm using the same one for all my different builds that are 6'5 and up. Now these are my signature animations. Everything you've seen me do on this video, and especially the last video I just dropped yesterday, or depending on when you're watching this video, it'd be the previous video to this one, where I'm showing 5 or 6 different gameplays of what I'm calling the Anti-Venom lineup, my 2s lineup, where we're crushing L2 cheesers. Everything you saw on that video, these are my signature animations. I really appreciate all the support y'all have been giving the channel. It really means a lot to me. It's kind of surreal, the amount of positive feedback and love I've been getting. Keep God first. In his word, he says that if you put him and his kingdom first, then all things will be added to you. This simply means that if you take care of God and his life inside of you, assuming that you're a believer and he lives inside of you, by turning to him and caring for his wants and his needs and your relationship with him, he'll take care of everything else you could possibly need or want, as if he's putting you before anyone else on the earth. So put him first, and your relationship will be as if he puts you first. God bless you all. Jesus loves you. Until the next time, peace.